They had hopes for them for quite some time, then they left it down, and all of a sudden they found Cirque, a Bulgarian beast, owning it up with AVP basically, brought him to NA, and now all of a sudden they're a team that can be reckoned with, not only in NA, but in the entire world. The biggest problem for me with these guys is that they crumpled under pressure. When it really mattered the most, they didn't qualify for the major, and that was a big no-no.
That's got to be a big hit on the heart, too. I mean, that's got to be one that you look at each other and like, man, guys, we really bought this one up a little bit. But the vetoes do come through. You are going to know that it's ban, pick. And, of course, this is a best of 3, so there will be 3 maps played in entirety. Mirage overpassing. I feel like this was going to train. You know what? As I say it, there it is. What do you guys think about this map pool?
I think this makes sense, right? Like, NRG usually go for the Mirage ban, but then again, Dust 2's a map they really are not that comfortable on, and they just took it out. Now, here's the thing, right? I would have, if I was NRG, I would have let Dust 2 through, just because Woxic's not there, and they could have probably done some damage over there, but it would have been either a Dust 2 ban or a Mirage ban. So kind of expected results here, but just looking at these map picks, Overpass, a map that Hellraiser is really not that comfortable on, and NRG is so dominant on as well, and then Train, kind of 50-50. I think this could really go all the way.
Yeah, I think it's an even matchup. I agree with what Blair said in terms of the maps. Without Voxic, it's going to become a different game. You know, Dead Fox can't pick up the AVP for Hellraiser. He used to be an AVP player before he joined, but he's not as strong as Voxic, and he's not as dominant, especially in Overpass. The only weapon they really have on the map is Voxic going around.
But on the bright side, I would say the fact that they have Feds coming in as well, who has played with them in the past. He is an Opera as well, so they can still have that dual up setup that they have used many times in maps like Train, for example, right? So we can potentially see that. We're going to be seeing Mirage as well, where dual up setup might work out. But the question remains. Speaking to Jonta earlier, I asked him, like, are you really going to be changing your play style just to fit in Feds here? You know, trying to go back to the old days when he used to play with you guys, or are you going to just, you know, make him do what Woxic does usually? And he's like, you know what, we just like played for like 4 or 5 days. We had after the vacation thing, so we just kind of mix things up a little bit and try to catch some teams off guard. So we might see something a little bit surprising, I feel here.
A little bit surprising would be the posture of this man right here, who's seemingly upset at something, or he's just jamming. Yeah, I think he's getting down on some music. What do you think he's listening to, Pim?
50 Cent.
All right. What's your take on that one, Blair? Did you say 50 Cent? I wouldn't. But
I don't know, man. It could be some metal. It's like going to like some Viking metal going on there, just looking to kill some Americans.
Don't know. Wow. Okay. Don't know that
in a
necessarily.
server.
Yeah, be a Viking thing for these guys. Maybe he's listening to like the Beastie Boys or something. I have a
could
like,
be.
Like Sabotage or Paul Revere. Paul Revere is a classic people sleep on all the time. Either way, it does appear as though they will be strapping those headsets on. You can see Fugly there on your screen. On the screen. Getting warmed up. Sitting rather close to his screen. I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think, Pam?
I feel good about it, Trace.
Okay, outstanding. Well, I think we're almost at that point, but I guess I should ask you guys for your final predictions, and let's keep it down to about 2 sentences roughly apiece.
I'll give you a word right there, NRG.
It's gonna lose.
Well played, guys.
I didn't say anything, I just said NRG.
Okay.
Playing it safe.
You got anything you want to add on top of that?
No, okay, I just think it's going to go down to the wire, but I think NRG just seem like, as an absolute unit, they seem much better on paper, and Hellraisers, they have the entire standard factor, right? NRG, I just think are just going to take it, especially map number 3. It's going to be a close series.
We're going to 3 maps.
Yeah, we're going to
That's already your prediction.
Yep.
Pimp, I would like you to add something to this equation. Literally anything will do at this point.
I think Hellraiser is going to win. They are off vacation mode into the game, and I think NRG pretty much is already on vacation. This is the last event for them. They failed the major. That was the big goal. Now they have nothing to play for.
They would want to win this as well, but yeah.
Sure thing. Everyone wants to win, but they're going to lose this one.
Everybody wants to win, but ultimately only one of these teams will. NRG versus Hellraisers, and we're kicking it off with a new casting duo, and I believe it's Harrietta sitting over there taking it by.
Thank you very much for that one, Trace. Yes, NRG versus Hellraisers. That is going to be the game that we see before us already. It's well and truly underway. Issa already opening things up, finds that first frag down through middle, and they're going to start to wrap on round in through jungle, looking to try and collapse into this A bomb site.
They are indeed, Harry, already at Cirque, the Bulgarian star here from NRG to close things out towards Connector, and it's Nathan already getting frags.
Cirque spots one, but it's not meant to be. Breezy going to fall as well, and Daps is left in a 1 versus 3. Now down from CT, tagged on up. 8 HP, able to tap onto Dead Fox, so maybe have some faith in him now. They're going to concentrate on trying to get that bomb down. Daps just edging further forward. So close to going down along in the same boat of Bondic, of course, but Daps going to find it now. A 1v1, and Angel only admittedly needs to land 1 shot. He buys his time down in connector, and through the smoke he's going to find it. Hellraisers, they manage to hold on. They find themselves the pistol here in this best of 3.
Well, Harry. Fast round from Hellraiser to kick things off here at Shanghai. A fast mid-burst to catch that player in towards window, get the man advantage, flood in through connector. We saw as well Dead Fox. I mean, for Hellraisers, typically on the pistol rounds, it is going to be Dead Fox, Wood in the utility, doing the smokes, doing the grenades, smokes off the top of jungle, basically rendering Resi useless towards CT, can't peering towards connector, cannot stop the split going in towards the A site, blocking off the vision and getting those Glocks up close and personal in towards jungle and wreaking havoc.
Well, I might get to see a little bit more havoc here, as they've taken control of mid early on. There's still the Deagle at Breezy for them to try and get past, and has managed to claim that first kill. Going to be answered back by Fates, who, despite being the stand-in, it's actually his second time appearing in Shanghai with this squad. He was here for the Star Series Invitational not that long ago. Well, those Deags doing damage once again. The bomb's actually been dropped in the plain view of the window here. They're going to have to smoke it off. Ethan going to fall the hands of Bondic over at bench, leaving Fugly now 1v3, and he's going to look to try and get out of there perhaps. Not too much love for him in this round as he backs away.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with the Deagle, the AK as well salvaged towards connector, best off just to save the weaponry in for round number 3. Can drop over the Deagle as well to Ethan, to Cirque, trying to have an impact there towards middle. But apart from that, it will be the save from Fugly. Hellraisers kicking things off the 2-0 lead. Frags well off the MAC-10 from Feth, so in terms of cash, definitely going to be apparent here for Hellraisers early on. A question as well, will they carry on the MAC-10 into the next buy round here, Harry? Hellraisers could go for a fast set piece into that first buy round in round number 4. But so far looking good here for Hellraisers. Actually, we didn't really have time to talk about the matchup before it started, Harry. Who are you favouring in this best of 3?
For me, I have to go with NRG.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I think, Hellraisers obviously not having Walkstick here with them going to cause them a lot of problems. And that's kind of been a reoccurring trend for Hellraisers, I think, throughout this year. Feels like they really can't catch a break. And this NRG roster, they've been going from strength to strength. They kind of, messed up at the minors. A lot of people were expecting them to do well there, and of course, they fell short. But I think if anything, that's going to spur you on to do better here in Shanghai. There's a lot of talent on this roster, so I'm going to have to lean their way. What about you?
I have to agree. I mean, we look at the maps as well. We're seeing Train, we're seeing Overpass. I mean, maps which notoriously Hellraisers are strong on, but these are maps where the AWP is so prevalent. I mean, CT side Overpass notoriously. We look over at Train, a map that is fabled by the AWP play from the teams that are strong on it. And when you do lack your star player, your star AWPer, it is going to be hindrance on maps such as those. So in terms of the veto, I think you can give a pat on the back to NRG, Dabs, Amape, whoever it was, to getting these maps which rely heavily on AWPers. The fact that it is Fett standing in, and they really are exploiting that. Anyway though, Harry, action towards the B bomb size Hellraisers. Just a few players, or just Fett early on.
Actually, they lose Angel of the Glock on Cirque as well, and that's going to cause them that many more problems. Now, Issa's able to trade things back. Fugly now comes rotating in, going to look to try and join up with Ethan, who lies in way down there towards CT, and this scavenged AK, it's managed them 1 kill. Dead Fox and Issa left to try and overcome. Dead Fox wrapping up through connector, that's going to force Fugly away from jungle. Right now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't really want to risk going back in for this repick. It's a pretty horrid angle to go through, but he's going to go for it anyway. Edging forward, Dead Fox other side of that smoke, and Fugly, no idea, this should be his demise. Dead Fox peeks out, finds him. Hellraiser's going to pick up the third. They find the pistol, they convert the 2 anti-ecos as well, but now we see the buy come in for NRG.
Economical damage though dealt by NRG, only 2 players surviving from the last round from Hellraisers. So once the buys do come through, I mean $1,000 now for Bondic. But apart from that, the cash is still affluent here for Hellraisers. And a question I had asked was, were they going to keep these MAC-10s, keep the Galils into the next buy round and try something fast, but obviously losing those players to Cirque, to Fugly as well. Instead, they are going to be reinvesting into the AKs. So mid-control early on here from Hellraisers, sending 3 players here with a smoke in towards window to render Cirque useless early on. Which means, with mid-control here for Hellraisers, how do they structure their T sides? Is this going to be a team that takes those 1 versus 1s towards ramp, towards B? I mean, if Dead Fox gets the frag in onto Dabs, flushes him out, then maybe they can try steer their gaze towards A.
Well, they've already opened up with the man advantage over on this side of NRG. That's not going to be easy now to try and answer back from for Hellraisers. In response to it, they have been able to get control of mid. So while they've lost Issa, they've taken map control elsewhere, and now they're going to look to try and continue this aggression up through short. Peeking around, it's going to be Fates, the stand-in, the man that we've been speaking a decent bit about, and he spots out Cirque. He's going to win the clash of the Orpas. Second for him as well. Daps able to get the trade, and all that plus a little bit more. Angel suddenly left in a 1v3, barreling out from the apartments, and 2 players inside of this bomb site. It's not meant to be, as Daps leads by example for NRG. They're going to find themselves their first round in the rifles there. And on the back of it, as you kind of highlighted, Snods, it's going to be economic damage for Hellraisers, meaning that a buy is nothing more than a distant dream at this point in time.
Perfect play from NRG. They concede mid-control early. We saw from Cirque, as soon as the smoke landed in towards window, rotates back in towards connector, can flash in his teammates towards ramp. NRG get the reactive play, get the first frag in towards ramp, that then basically forces Hellraiser's hand to then go in for the B split towards the B side. Cirque gets caught off guard there by Fetz with the AWP, obviously the right eye peek. We know that Cirque is a very fast AWP, but as Fetz peeked from the right side, because of Counter-Strike rules and logic, he did have the advantage, and this time it's favoured to him. Man advantage here for NRG, but obviously it is going to be the eco from Hellraisers, so this is now a round for NRG where they can stack up the cash, have a clean round. 3, 4, 5 players stay alive here, trying to avoid having to reimburse themselves with rebuying Kevlar, rebuying utility, and dropping over weapons to get the cash on that CT side afloat.
Now, we've seen these pistols have been doing a pretty decent job of doing damage thus far this round. It'd be great for Hellraisers if that could continue to be true. Only 1 kill found right now, and it looks like that might all they're able to get. I mean, Fate's left in a 1v4, just not happening for him. So NRG keep things fairly clean, second round under their belt. But now that buy will be coming in for Hellraisers. I do think the most interesting talking point still right now is going to be the stand-in of Fates over on the side of HR. Do you have any, saucy information for us? Do you want to try and break us down who this stand-in is? For those of you watching at home who aren't quite familiar with this Hellraisers roster.
The funny thing is, Harry, Fates has been around the block, we could say. Played in a few UK teams a few years back, obviously has transitioned away from that into the European teams. Actually played for a team at this event when he went over to China, 5 Power. So the core of 5 Power have actually played with Fets, and they are in the same group. So there could be a spicy matchup if 5 Power beat VP, and if Hellraisers lose this matchup, that could be one to see or one to witness if there is that rivalry still there between the former teammates. But enough for the future and into the current day. Bondic with the first frag in towards ramp, of 5 versus 4 this time for the international squad. Hellraiser with the lead, and now how are they going to try and manipulate that advantage? There's still a minute 15 left on the clock. NRG have lost control towards B, lost control towards middle. They go for the gamble stack towards the A side, and so far, Harry, the investment just hasn't paid off.
Most certainly has not. Now, they're going to start to send a couple of players back over here towards B. Daps even securing that M4 from ramp. And Deadfox did a great job of getting their attention. He's pulled over so many players from NRG. They even lose Daps inside of the A bomb site, and just like that, this fragile house of cards has come tumbling down around them. It's going to be a Hellraisers round by the looks of things as NRG fall on back, look to try and hold on to the AK and the AWP over here in the apartments. HR are going to be moving on to a 4th, and they do look to send Angel hunting. The money isn't great for this T side, but they know that anything they can take out of the hands of NRG is going to be worth its weight in gold.
NRG trying their hand at saving. Finally gets the timing off onto Angel, so he will survive into the next one. A few seconds left on the bomb, as NRG will save 2 players, Fugly and the AWP from Cirque as well. So in terms of cash here, Harry, obviously we spoke prior versus the Eco. NRG had to have a clean round to be able to afford, if they lost the round, to avoid the reset, to have enough for the full buy, which they will do now as you head into round number 7. So far for Hellraisers, mid control has been so easy for them. It feels like a smoke towards window, a smoke towards top mid, almost concedes mid control from NRG. They try and fight back, they try and take ramp control. The problem is Bondic was ready for it this time. The last time it was caught in ramp, this time it's playing on the little ledge from behind, waiting for the flashbang, then got the first frag, and Hellraisers manipulated the map to get that advantage with a split through connector in towards the A side. And this time, Harry, NRG taking the fight to Hellraisers.
Yeah, they now have to switch something up over here in mid. Angel, though, doing the damage, has been able to find two. The trade's there from Fugly. It comes in fast. It's now Daps looking once again to try and lock down this B-bomb site, but he gets wrapped onto by Issa. The trade is there. It's a 2v2. NRG desperately trying to claw their way back into this round, but Issa, he's decapitated the beast that lied in wait down over towards short. Ethan left 1v2, and he's going to have to back away. Is he going to try and go for this? Could wrap round over onto short. That looks to be the call.
Yeah, the defuse kit was dropped by Fugly towards short, so he smoked off towards kitchen, has the angle now towards short, picks up the defuse kit and the AK as well. An increase in firepower, and he's going to need those one-shot headshots to give us a chance into this one. But instead, Fets will find the final frag here, Harry. So it goes 5-2, and that will be the reset, or the cash now basically gone back to 2,000. There is going to be enough here for NRG to invest into. $2,000 across the board, so they can go for, you know, upgrade in terms of the pistols. We can see a couple of CZs, maybe Kevlar as well, but in terms of an affluent buy, it isn't going to be here just yet.
No, definitely not. And one thing that's a little bit worrying, I think, early on is how easily Hellraisers are taking control of middle. I mean, you look over at NRG, you have Cirque in this roster. He's a man that so many players talk about as being, you know, the next kind of big standout AWPer. I was going to say within NA, but obviously he's not from North America. He's Bulgarian. But, you know, regardless, he's a very, very talked about player within this roster, and he's been struggling to help out over here in middle. Currently sits bottom of the board for NRG, if I'm not mistaken. That is the case. 3 kills to his name right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is early days, only 8 rounds in, and he's the primary AWPer, and how many rounds he really had the AWPer? Maybe 2, maximum of 3, so to have his impact, it will be difficult, especially with Hellraisers targeting that position of the map towards middle. But yeah, I mean, you're right, so far for Hellraisers, it has been a breeze. They've done the smoke towards window, they've done the smoke towards top of mid. NRG make the right play. They concede middle, they flash in towards ramp, they get the first frag and the first Baron, and they win it. The problem is Hellraiser is a smart team. Angel is so good at switching things up on the fly. He makes the right adjustment. Bondic plays a passive angle towards ramp. Hellraisers take mid. Bondic expects the ramp push. He gets the frag. The round's over. NRG push towards middle. Hellraisers hold. They get the frags and they win the round. For me, Harry, this next round really says it all. NRG, they've tried the mid push. They've tried something towards short where they left the apps open, went double short play. They've tried the push in towards ramp as well. They have to get quite creative if they want a chance.
I'm going to boost Cirque up, but he will get the drop on Fates. Now it's Issa and Bondic left 2 versus 3. They have the bomb down, and time working against NRG here. Sees Issa just dismantling this attempted retake as he drops both players down towards short. Hellraiser is going to be moving very, very swiftly onto a 6th round. Let's not forget, though, that was just the partial buy-in from NRG. They're going to have a shot at the real buy here. They're going to take a tactical pause as well, I think, justifiably so. Currently, Hellraiser's sitting 6-2 up. And sort of one of the problems, you know, you run into playing on the CT side, it's a lot more expensive to buy. So you can get in this trap where you be in a situation, you know, you buy, then you lose, then you save, and you just rinse and repeat that.
I think the good thing to see here, Harry, is actually the pause. One of the issues we had at the minors with NRG was the fact of maybe getting complacent or confident, not calling for those pauses when you have 4 to dissect what your opponent is doing. You know, sometimes the best thing in a pause is just not to speak at all. If there is arguments happening, if there is a bit of animosity in that roster, just take a breather, relax, and mentally reset. However, for NRG, they're going to have to be on their toes in this one. If they lose this round, Harry, it's going to be 7-2 in another round where they are onto pistol, so we could be seeing an 8-2 advantage for Hellraisers, where arguably they're winning the half already. But anyway, once again, mid-control here from Hellraisers. This time, though, NRG are going to be going for the double short play. They could boost on the boxes there and peer over that smoke, try and get the advantage, but instead, Ethan going to be in towards CPL, holding for the window boost here, as they heavily lean towards B.
It's a much slower start to the round from Hellraisers this time. Well, not too keen to go running into the waiting guns of NRG. Of course, NRG coming off the back of the tactical pause here as well. So Hellraisers now switching up the pace in response to that.
Really good change here from NRG. Fugly now playing towards Connector. Cirque playing towards CT with the AWP, but this is going to allow for him to have those long-range duels, those long-range shots that AWP is dreaming of. And now into the 4 versus 3. Ethan as well pushing this one, gets the double frag, even the third as well as the isolates the headshot onto Issa. And it's going to be the hat-trick of frags towards jungle from one of the stars from NRG to grant themselves that third round. But just to go back onto the point, we saw a great adjustment. This time they're not trying to battle for map control. They're allowing Hellraisers to walk into the scope and walk into the plays from the star players of NRG.
And I have to ask, you know, who would be your man to watch for each one of these teams? I know we're a little bit into this now, but if you had to just pick one, quick and concise as you can, who would it be?
Ethan from NRG, and I would say Issa from Hellraisers, but we can talk about that maybe down the road, as I'm sure more pauses will come if NRG loses this round, Harry, because they're going to be onto another reset, and this could be a dreadful, abysmal half for them if that does come around. But anyway, aggression towards underpass from NRG is met by the resistance of Hellraisers. So 5 versus 4 here early on, and one of the things you have to give credit to Angel for is how good he is at converting that one-man advantage. A methodical player on that T side, and he's one of these scary in-game leaders, as when you give him that advantage, he's so good at squeezing out everything you give him.
Yeah, I mean, just as you said, they've picked up that man advantage now. They're going to look to try and take control of the top of mid here, knowing that NRG are going to have their men stretched thin across the map. You can see the attempted response from NRG, pushing Ethan down here towards ramp, and it's given them a bit more of a stronger foothold down here towards A, but hasn't netted them all too much information. In response, Hellraisers clearing out short, wrapping in through apartments, looking like it's going to be the B split. There's 30 seconds left on the clock here. Daps and a Breezy to hold down this B bomb site. Daps going to fall at the first hurdle, and Breezy, well, things do not go too well for him as Issa finds a frag on the entry. It's just Cirque and Ethan left alive. They're going to have to go ahead and leave. Let's try and hold on to the AK and the AWP between them. And they've actually been spotted retreating back into Palace as well. Hellraisers going to be hot on their heels on the hunt.
Hellraisers have the cash to go for the hunt as well. And as they do spot a player in towards Palace, they can maybe expect both of them to be there. Being basically hunted down as Ethan finds one. We'll telegraph exactly where he is. So we should have been seeing the quicker trade potentially from Angel as they walk one by one into the crosshair of Ethan. But even then, Hellraisers can still be rather content with the fact they are into 7 rounds here. They have once again reset the cash from NRG, and I'd like to see a pause here. The reason being is for NRG, the last time they took a pause, they made a very good adjustment on their CT side in terms of reeling back that aggression and playing more passive. And I believe we are into a pause, which we are. A tactical one at that from NRG, and that will be the second of theirs so far. So, Harry, what should we see from NRG? Before that was good was Cirque going towards CT at the start of the round. Obviously, if you are AWPing on that CT side of Mirage, you are useless towards middle. The reason is they are smoking off towards window. They are smoking out towards top middle. You can't go in towards connector and try and, you know, spot the cross towards the back boxes or hope that someone pushes that smoke in towards short. But the problem is you can't rely on those sort of plays. Instead, you'd much rather have a rifle being dynamic towards the smoking connector, being able to delay the T side with those smokes, with those flashes, basically trying its best to, be a thorn in the side of the players towards middle from Hellraisers. So having him orbing towards CT is a very good adjustment. The question is, where does he go now?